different roles. Now that SETA is on red side, they get to react. They get the power 4 position here as 4th pick, where there's not much they can do about it. And I just want to bring this up. So many people have been banning out the Hirara. It's kind of an up and down here, and if a team on red side is banning out Hirara, sure. But when you go to blue side and you ban it out, it's kind of showing something here.
What do you think?
I think that jungler can't play Hirara.
That's probable?
Look, I'm not...
Maybe she's not comfortable on it?
That's the thing. I feel like it's hard to say because we've seen so many different options from these ladies. They've shown us everything from Hanabi to Leslie.
Okay, I mean, if that's the case, where we are going to have to just work with it for the moment, because the Boxias now is going to be banned out. There is still an opportunity for that Esmeralda pickup. We've been talking about how powerful the Esmeralda has been, especially in that EXP lane after the buffs. The Glue and the Lilia gets eliminated. So are they signaling that they themselves perhaps want to pick up an assassin? Right? But the Lilia ban to me is what I find quite intriguing.
I agree. I totally agree with you because their first 2 bans are similar to what they did literally just now in game number 1, right? They got rid of the Atlas, they got rid of the Glue. But they decided to change it this time because Hirara is already gone and Zushin is going to be the first pick, followed up by Yve on the opposite end, and they're still thinking about what else to pair it with. Are you looking for supports here to guarantee your mid-trio, or do you want to show your jungle early?
I mean, if they want to go back to the same thing that they did, earlier on, they could go for maybe another setup with a Yve, with a Gatot Kacha as well. There were moments that it worked, and obviously maybe game 1 was an adaptation period for them, so if they do want to work with that, they can. Or perhaps they want to prioritize their gold lane, right? We've seen that becoming, the fundamentals, especially in the first phase. Maybe a Claude that they want to pick up first, take that away from Team Ray?
Actually, that's a really good idea, considering that Quinn has been like the main driving force of these back doors and major decider of damage. I'm surprised that they actually go for the Khalid this time, but the follow-up is fast, super quick from Team Ray. They get the Esmeralda. Not a lot of counterplay to her, especially if you're thinking about Phoveus and Paquito. Getting the carry as well, just to make sure that they don't have another way to kind of deal with the heavy tanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this would show like maybe another, a dead lane. Do they want to go Esme-Uranus matchup?
But then that's more, well, I guess Uranus eventually outscales her, but for like the most part, Esmeralda is going to control that side of the map.
Which definitely is a problem here. And of course, Jessica66 really needs to get her hero down, and they are still going to leave her hero into the second phase. The first 3 picks coming in from SETA, I don't know, with the Khalid and the Yve as well, it's signaling to us that they really want to play that mid.
They do, but what jungler would make sense? Like, they could set up for so many different things, right? In this position, based on the next 2 bans we see for either of these teams, for SETA, I'm thinking the classic Fredrin Arlet type situation. But again, you know where Esmeralda is going to go, and Arlet is going to struggle a little bit, so they might need to have a little bit of force up on that EXP lane.
So maybe that's what they're going for, right? Like, okay, we'll play that as a weak lane, and then they utilize that later in particular team fights afterwards?
Possibly. There's many different angles that they can go for, right? I feel like the Fredrin makes a lot of sense now that Boxia is gone, but then there's still Akai as a potential problem. You see the Belleric actually getting banned out here. Looks like SETA putting a lot of respect.
I feel like it's an assassin. I feel like it's an assassin in the jungle for SETA.
Like a Haya?
That's the thing. We don't really know so far just yet. She's picked up the Boxia in the past. She's picked up the Hirara in the past for, Zoe. And both of those are actually banned out.
You know
by
what?
Team Ray.
I think let's just make it real easy here, right? If we're going to guess jungle picks, all we really have, you are dead right about this, Eterna. With the Kaja ban as well, it's got to be an assassin.
But what assassin?
I'm thinking it's got to be one of the ninjas, right?
It could be Nolan, though.
Oh, Nolan into this?
I mean, they have a strong duo mid in Yve and Khalid. They can work with that. Nolan clears very fast as well in the enemy jungle.
I think they can save it for the end. I think they don't have to show their jungle pick here right now and wait until Team Ray reveal everything, because you can immediately take an EXP counter matchup against the Esmeralda. I'm thinking like just throw them off the scent a little bit, put in a Yuzong and say, hey, we have diving capabilities. What are you going to do now?
What do you think about the Terizlas of the world?
Might be a little tough, actually. Mainly only because there's carry on the opposite side. That's really the determining factor. Ooh, Yi Sun Shin.
Okay, semi-assassin. That's I think we saw a YSS in Stream B.
Is that going to be enough, though? Yi Shin, yes, is still able to kind of like outmaneuver a large majority, but now Team Ray can technically respond to this. So they're sacrificing the jungle. Yep, there we go. Instantly, they have something that goes into the jungle to invade, to punish the early game and the Nolan. So you called it here already, Eterna.
Okay, but on the opposite side, the Nolan does come through, and luckily enough for Team Ray as well, that they are playing on dangerous grass, so the Hilda is going to be able to be a lot more aggressive. I love the Hilda-Khalid matchup in particular for the mid. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, but the last pick now, it's going to be for Jessica26. It's going to be as vital as ever for this to be a power pick for her too.
This last pick, again, are you liking Team Ray's composition so far? Do they have your favor, or is it the SETA side now that you see the Phobius?
I like the Phobius against the Nolan.
Okay, because for me, it's going to be down to the junglers. I don't know about you, Taylor, but I'm looking at either the Korean commander of their naval army or the time traveler. I'm thinking time traveler.
Time traveler for sure, man. You can do a lot if you could travel in time. You could do that, man. You could get the winning lottery numbers. Check it out. It's going to be a big matchup for sure and a big comeback needed for SETA Esports. Will they be able to do it, or will we have 2-0s all again here on Stream A? Well, let's see what Team Ray Young has in store. They are one round away from moving forward to the knockout stage and potentially securing a championship later on. Brigitte, Mirko, let's get it started.
Thank you so much, panel. Yet again, man, we are into the matchup, and just as Gideon mentioned, or asked around the panel, I would like to know your opinion. Brigitte, whose draft do you like better?
I will have to go for the Esmeralda. Mainly because it's been such a great time for her, and I like how they've been trying to resolve the issue of scaling for SETA head on through the Hilda Jusin mid duo that you're starting to see right now in the hands of Chiboy, just making sure that Joe is not going to have a great time farming in the early stages of the game. Fortunately, has a bit of help from Guy, but that's where I'm really going to put my eyes on. If they're successful enough to keep this early game momentum going, then it's going to be tough for SETA to scale into a position where they want to be.
I agree with you, especially considering, again, this Nolan pick is just so good at invading early. Nora's already got the prio bottom lane. They go for the dive, but there's damage reduction under that turret. And if you look at Nora's emblems, it's a bargain hunter. Team Ray Young know that they'll be ahead in this game. They'll be the ones with the snowball. So they're trying to go for the throat as early as possible. Tando takes the golem away. Already a camp stolen.
15% change, and that's huge for SETA, who definitely want to speed up things a bit because they do have to scale. They're both on a double marksman. They're on a double marksman setup, so they definitely need as much as they can. But fortunately for Team Ray, they've been controlling majority of their lanes so far, and the carry Claude matchup is pretty much something you've seen happen time and time again. It's been an okay lane for them. Nora, two games in a row, early game, has controlled the lane against Jessica, who we are not really seeing the setups from just yet. The same level of aggression we saw from her yesterday against Team Ray this time. And even the minions in the mid have been under control by both Miko and Chiboy. So this next turtle is looking to be like a huge advantage for Team Ray, considering that Nora's up level 4 too.
Yep. They're not actually going to utilize this level E just yet. Zoe gets level 4 with the Lizard down below. Nora up top against Jessica. Both level 4, but again from Miku. She's going to be delayed a little bit from getting that level 4. Very soon, though, she'll have it. And Nami is actually still behind. This looks great for Team Ray Young.
Tan is just going to focus on the turtle as Chiboy and Miku are going to be in charge of zoning out Fanhua. Joe could not even approach the turtle either. Mountain Shocker already committed, but they've already gotten the turtle. And Nora, look at what she's able to do against Jessica26.
Yeah, those buffs on the Esmeralda are really showing. Those nerfs on the Phobius really showing as well. This matchup wasn't really a good matchup even before the patch, but after the patch, it'll really be a lot more difficult for Jessica to go 1v1. She has to just participate in the fights, going in for those dark waves instead of going 1v1 against Nora. Especially with the bargain hunter, man. Nora, if she gets more of these golds, if she's able to participate in more of those fights, almost a kill in mid with a fracture on Name. And now they're going to be looking for bottom lane for sure. They already have this winning matchup that they didn't have last time around. Chiboy's cutting.
Yeah, the more that the map opens up, the more things are gonna be difficult for Joe. Just look at this one level gap already existing between our two junglers, and it could just turn into more if Team Ray find the more successful rotations across the map, which I feel like they're very comfortable doing already. There's not much pressure on the mid lane. You don't really expect to see Jessica out of nowhere, because Nora's been the first to rotate out always, almost every single time. And a fraction right here, forcing out the BMI with a lot of damage already. That's a lot of threat for Guy and all the other squishy heroes. What kid? Chiboy taking first blood against the jungler of SETA. What a way to start this game after 3 minutes of them just farming, and now Quinn also finding Guy. How unfortunate for SETA.
Sokolil for the Hilda against Joe on the Yisun Shin. And that's why the panel was questioning the YSS choice, especially with the Claude and the Eve already picked up, with an Esmeralda basically guaranteeing XP matchup. Hilda just free to go all over the map into the jungle. All the way from level 1 we saw how oppressive Chiboy could be on the Hilda.
Yeah.
And there's no respect from the rest of SETA. Or rather, maybe they just have so many things to deal with. Fanhua should definitely be walking together with Zoe. But even up top, they won't be able to get rid of the carry. Quinn's all good. That's another neutral objective for free to Team Ray Young. They're trying to commit onto this, man. Mountain Shocker utilized, but the whole team's coming over.
Yep. That was a trade attempt, but then you clearly see how quick the responses are from Team Ray. They already decided to switch lanes, and yes, things have been really fast-paced for Team Ray at this point. Just Chiboy not letting go of Joe. The level gap still continuing to grow, and Quinn just focusing on almost every single structure that they're able to take away from SETA at this point. It's a much cleaner execution that you're seeing from them, and you feel the confidence coming in. They're starting to show a bit more of those recalls as the Crimson Beacon comes in for
Jessica.
They're trying to take on Jessica, and they won't take long for them to find the kill. Fanhua trying to look for an angle from behind, but it's not going to be enough. Nora jumping in too, and that's all they need. SETA don't have the damage yet to take on a fight.
SETA don't have the damage, they don't have the sustain, they don't have anything to facilitate the box, the front to back that they desperately want to play with. And if Fanhua can get bursted like that, you're in for some trouble. That's the main frontliner. If the fracture combo lands on Zoe, Name, or Guy, it's gonna be good night. It's only a 600 gold lead between the junglers, but then you look at everybody across the board and it's just constant 1v1 wins all over.
Yep.
Quinn's getting a turret down below. They've already gotten rid of all tier 1s in the side lanes, and this will make it so easy for them to go and sandwich them inside of their own jungle.
Oh, Chiboy on this Hilda is really not making things any easier for SETA. Now they're on their way to securing their third turret in this game. All tier 1 turrets have fallen down, and now they're on the road to taking on more kills as well. Fanhua going down, Guy going in with the blazing joy, but gets cancelled by the lockups of the Lantern Flare. Still get to find the trade, however, though, and Jessica's now finding 2 as well.
Team Ray Young had 3 members there, and they still won out in the trade. 3 for 2. It's another neutral objective. It's a disaster for SETA. It's a dream for Team Ray Young.
Okay, the fracture already used. Jessica's just sustaining everything along the way. Now is somehow looking to be a threat for SETA or for Team Ray. If you look at it, if they're not able to burst him down as quickly, Tan still gets to steal away that purple buff from SETA, so they're at least still working their way around denying objectives and opportunities for SETA to catch up, as they've already established the 3k gold lead that you're currently looking at. But again, if they've already started this really fast, they might want to keep it that way, because you're starting to feel bit by bit that SETA are still a scaling comp.
That is true. And they did get a bounty on Chiboy. She was 3-0. There was a bounty to be given. The rest of the team, though, however, did not. And that's why the gold lead has stayed relatively untouched. It did not move. 4,400 gold lead. They're still pushing in. They have the map control. And there's just no way for you to walk in your own jungle, walk in to defend these turrets when you have to group up together and set up a box. Quinn's going to get a free turret up top.
Yep.
And now the siege happens. They're just constantly going to play the macro game, split SETA up, prevent the box from being formed by SETA, and then slowly dissect them with the Lord takes into these turrets.
Yeah, Quinn's been a bit too free on these turret takes, on these movements across the map, and now it's Fanhua who every single time she decides to show up seems to be like an option for Team Ray to just burst down. It seems like they have enough damage to do so either way. We already saw a glimpse of it earlier on too, but yet again we see Quinn, look at her just pushing as much turrets as they can.
Yeah.
SETA are not even able to find as much trades across the map. Now it's just mainly Joel trying to push up the waves, and fortunately they get one, but that's the place where the Lord's about to spawn. So either way, Team Ray are definitely going to keep that in check and are going to actually burst it down right as it just spawns on the map.
With a carry and a Nolan all ahead, that Lord is another minion to Team Ray Young. One thing's for sure though, even if SETA scale into the late game, their frontliners don't. Jessica, Fanhua, they're on heroes that just don't scale into the late game, and the fact that they're just so behind early on. Look at that level lead. Jessica to Nora. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a 3-level lead between the XP lane. Nora's just having a blast in that lane, and if we even look at the roam right now, it's a level advantage for Chiboy. Every time I think I've seen Fanhua Raging Sandstorm out away, it's been defensive. It's never been aggressive.
Yeah, never been aggressive.
Sorry, made that mistake.
They can't afford. No, it's okay. People make mistakes. Yeah, they can't afford to. You can't afford to. We're waiting for a perfect opportunity for them to actually either isolate a member or not just really get counter engaged enough by Team Ray, because Chiboy, everyone else, Quinn are just all too free to find the targets that they want, and now they've synced up all their waves and are on the verge of taking out all these holy shields from SETA just 10 minutes into this game. They also have incoming waves yet to come in the mid lane. SETA are just really forced to play defensive at this point. They can afford to make plays later on. They can start things off with either Fanhua or Jessica26, but do they have enough resources? Because at that point, you just saw it now, Fanhua was struggling to stand in front of Team Ray for more than 2 seconds, but Jessica actually tries to go in!
Whoa.
There goes the real-world manipulation, but Chiboy actually still finds the kill. Okay, Jessica26 is finally going down, but from behind Tad actually finds Name! Fanhua trying to sustain everything up against 3, but they're just all too tanky. Nora picks up the kill, and that's 3 for 1 in favor of Team Ray.
Again, Team Ray Young, they look for the fight, they get it. Quinn died again. This time, Fanhua able to connect on the Raging Sandstorm, and everything just played out the way they wanted. Unfortunately, there's still no bounty, and that's the thing. Team Ray Young can constantly take these gambles, can constantly go for these sieges, and they'll go and take these desperate fights from SETA because they know they have the lead, they have the win condition as well. As long as they don't fight under the RWM, they are good. As long as they're able to break the box, or rather play around the box, it's A-okay. And SETA, we know this, they have good clear. It's about how long they can extend the game, how long they can delay the end.
Yeah.
Because if they're able to get to, let's say, 16, 17-minute mark, that's where their composition should shine. Thing is, though, there's still some legit threats into their backline. Chiboy and Tan, we saw how much damage Name could take with a fracture combo. It's an insta-delete button.
Yeah, the only good thing out of that was it's really Quinn they got to take down first, which I think gave them the slight advantage in terms of just committing to the fight, because you wouldn't really expect any further damage from Team Ray when it came to that point. But other than that, there was still Tan, there was still Chiboy, there were still other members who could just play around the angles, and just as you're looking at it right now, Team Ray are not going to waste any time and burst down this next objective that spawned. It's an enhanced Lord that we're seeing in their hands with no energy shields left, so it's looking grim for SETA in terms of their remaining base turrets. A quick item check as well. Look at how far behind Jessica actually is in terms of gold.
We saw the XP diff, now we see the gold diff. That is a whopping 3,000 almost gold advantage between the XP. And ladies and gentlemen, the Esmeralda is a scaling pick here compared to the Phoveus. The Phoveus is the one who needs this lead early on. It's another siege again, this time with the Lord up top.
Okay, they're definitely losing one of their base turrets at this point. Multiple minions crashing towards the base, but Jessica66 again starts the final loss and the Blazing to wins the real world manipulations. They find Quinn, one of the most important kills SETA could have picked in that moment.
And it's back-to-back kills on the gold lane. Quinn falling, Tan waiting in the bush with the fracture combo. Fanhua starting to scale up as well when it comes to the tankiness. He's able to withstand a little bit more punishment from Team Ray Young. And this is exactly what we were talking about. If SETA can wait, prolong the game, extend it all the way to 16, 17 minutes, this is where their composition will start to really tear Team Ray Young apart. They have a pretty good comp to fight around outside of the base, but once they're kind of stopped into playing, when they're forced to play in the box of SETA, we see how easy it is for them to burst Quinn down. And this is where, for Quinn, that glass cannon build isn't working out. We're going to have to see a little bit more defensive items from Quinn here, either a win a crown or an immortality, or heck, maybe just a straight up rose gold to deal with Name.
It really makes me wonder how it happened twice in a row, though. Like, them just really getting to pinpoint where the gold laner of Team Ray is and making sure that their resources are enough to take her down, because essentially that's the most crucial part of the game. Like, they take her out, there's not much push threat, but now it's Team Ray trying to start up a fight. Fanhua getting knocked up and now is trying to escape. Quick Sandguard trying to survive, but Miku finally picks the kill. And at least a successful attempt from Team Ray this time. We cannot take away the fact that this is still an almost 10k gold lead. It's just that they're not able to close it out. And SETA are doing such a great job at just prolonging this entire game.
It's an unstoppable force versus an immovable object right now. And SETA, they're the ones inside of their base, immovable, holding on for dear life, having a composition to do so, clearing it out so quickly. But anytime they step out of their base, it gets really tough. Team Ray Young are the ones that can cut, again, with Tan, with Chiboy, through the jungles of SETA. Just because SETA have no map pressure. Anytime they walk up their own jungle, they don't know what they're walking into. A possible trap by Team Ray Young. And again, even if they want to walk up to Lord, they will never be in time for the contest. It's a carry and a Nolan. Every time it's up, it just gets bursted down. And this is the third Lord of the game. 6 neutral objectives, this time around, all going to the hands of Team Ray Young. But as long as SETA play it clean, as long as Name, Joe, and Guy inside of their own base turrets, force those RWMs, punish Quinn on these siege attempts, they'll be able to defend. They have great wave clear.
Yeah, it seems like the blueprint is going to say the same for SETA. They don't want to fight this outside. How to play that surprise attempt they've been going for twice in a row. And with a Winter Crown pickup for Jessica as well, I feel like they can be more creative in terms of their approach, because Team Ray definitely by this point has to expect what's to come, right? They should have an idea of roughly what SETA are trying to do all over again in this upcoming Lord Siege. So let's see how they respond as these waves come crashing in yet again on the base. Losing out on 2 base turrets already for SETA, but they're not starting a fight just yet. They're dealing with the Lord, they're dealing with things one by one. Knockers from the Lantern Flare, Fanhua and Jessica are not going for the engage, and now it's Team Ray who find the perfect engage. They're going for Quinn all over again, but this time Quinn actually gets to survive. Fanhua falls next. Jessica66 will actually force her way through, and they find the kill again, but is it gonna be enough? Guy trying to join in, pushing Team Ray back, and another successful defense from SETA is accomplished inside the base.
It's all about creating the box, and SETA have created a box again in their own base. Team Ray Young, they can be as creative as they can, but it just, as long as they can't penetrate through that box, get all the backliners in one fell swoop, it won't be enough. So at this point for Team Ray Young, they're going to look at the Evolved Lord. That's the only way to end this. They need a damage reduction from the Evolved Lord to just go straight in and brute force their way into getting the crystal. For SETA, it's now or never to contest. They've extended the game to a point where this should be their win condition. Heck, Joe,
Joe, gotta be careful there. Doesn't have a way out. The Lantern actually escapes. Not using the flicker for Fanhua though, but that was close. Super close for Joe. A 0-3 Yi Sun-shin, definitely not the best time, but this is a time where you should feel the threat of a Yi Sun-shin scaling into the late game. I agree, it's now or never. Might as well get out of their base and try to look for an angle. And they should assign the right people to create that path, to find a way through, but it seems like the Lord is not the choice. They're going through the opposite side, if anything. But Team Ray also have that area scouted out.
It's just housekeeping for SETA. They're clearing out the wave in the bottom lane first. They want it to be even here. Then they can go and try to look for an opening over on this Lord. And again, when it comes to the Evolved Lord, yes, Team Ray Young have been able to burst it down, but that's when it wasn't evolved. Whoa, everything thrown!
It did not connect. Tan is alive, and now it's a counter-engage from Team Ray, but SETA fully respect that as well. But without a conceal, Team Ray can anticipate the entry points for SETA. They do not have to worry about a surprise steal. They are bursting down this Evolved Lord, and SETA are forced to play defense again.
SETA, the one time a window opened for them when they have their power spikes. They couldn't keep it clean, they couldn't stay composed, they went straight for the first man they saw, and it was Tan on the Nolan in mid. One of the most mobile heroes in the game, and they decide to gamble on catching her. Didn't pay off, that's for sure. Now, they're gonna have to build that box again, but unfortunately, I think this box will be dented. That's an Evolved Lord, full of damage reduction. With the whole team playing for the waves as well. They won't even go for the one straight push. They will build the waves in side lanes. Then they'll group up in mid to look for the end. This is the wave to end the game if there's any to do with it. SETA, can they defend?
Oh no, Tan actually finds Cho, brings her down to half HP, and Fanwa too, popping the immortality and going down, falling Starbound onto 3, and the Lord already inside the base. Quinn is trying her best just to gain access, but her immortality gets popped too, but it's gonna be okay. Team Ray are finally able to find the winning push as they take out 3 from SETA and secure the 2-0.
It's a knockout stage. Slot confirmed in for Team Ray Young.